I was just driving around where I live and I come across this massive bridge and it spans like the railway track behind me. So I thought I'd film part 2 of my Thai story so far here. So let's get right into it. So, end of part 1. I had my bags packed, all my documents, my flights were booked. All I needed to do was hop on a train to Heathrow and fly to Bangkok. I chose the cheapest flight available, so I had to fly to Bombay Airport in Mumbai and then from Mumbai to Bangkok. Now I'm filming, cars are just going past left, right and centre. Because I chose the cheapest flight available to me at that time, I had a 3-hour, 4-hour layover in India, which was pretty decent to be honest. I stretched my legs, went to the toilet, got some water, got some snacks, and just waited. I was full with excitement, so I didn't mind waiting at all. When I arrived to Bangkok, no problems, visa stamped, and I went to waiting area 2, I think, and I met a representative from their agency, which had a sign with my name on it. I felt like a bloody superstar. Like, I've never gone to an airport with someone waiting for me with the little sign saying Sam. It was brilliant. When I met the representative of the agency, I met my first Thai person and she was lovely. She spoke really good English. She was like, oh, okay, just wait here 10 minutes. We're waiting for a few more teachers and we hop in the van and take you to the hotel. But before that, I'll give you a quick rundown of my employment contract to be a teacher in Thailand. So as you know from part 1, I came to Thailand with an agency. And when I was preparing all the documents and packing my bags, booking the flights and doing the, the teaching English test thing, qualification thing online, I had to sign an employment contract. Another car's going past. But look at that, beautiful. Proper scenic. So, in my contract, I had benefits of 30,000 baht per month, which were paid into my Thai bank account, which was also assisted by the agency. So that's good. 30,000 baht to translate to English money is about £800 or something like that. I could also get a completion bonus of 5,000 baht, which is about £100, £120, if I was a good teacher and my performance was good enough to qualify. Along with that, I could get another 5,000 baht to re-sign with the agency. So it's like giving you incentives to sign again with the agency and continue working with them. Along with the money things, they also provided a teaching training week in Bangkok where they put you up in a hotel and they paid for lunch, they paid for dinner, and they taught you about Thai customs and like how to live in Thailand, what to expect. They taught me a little bit of Thai, I think, like, hello, what's your name? I'm blah, blah, blah. The numbers, the days of the week, things like that, which is like added bonus because I didn't know any Thai coming here. What else did they give me? They were also going to pick me up from the airport, which is nice to have someone waiting for you when you arrive in Asia, I guess. It was my first time, so I really wanted someone to wait for me, pick me up. I didn't have to get a taxi or get a little subway train thing to the hotel. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. The agency also guaranteed employment in Thailand, but they couldn't confirm where I would be sent. As a first-timer teacher, it's great to know that you're actually going to work and get paid. Like, looking back on it, I'm so grateful that I was like a noob sort of thing, but I was guaranteed a place to work. Anyway, let's go back to this side and I'll tell you the rest of the story. So there I was waiting for another 10-20 minutes. 10-20 minutes is nothing when you've been on a 16-hour, 18-hour flight anyway. And we hopped in the van. So it was evening time, I think, so it was quite lovely to drive around the city at night, seeing all the like big city lights. My first Asian city, so it was quite interesting to look out the window and see what the hell were going off. Like tuk-tuks to my left, tuk-tuks to my right. Brilliant. We end up driving about 30 minutes or something to the hotel, so it was really close to the airport, which is like a good thing because I was on a flight sitting down for 16 hours. I didn't want to sit down for another 3 hours, did I? It turned out that we were sharing rooms in the hotel with another random person. I was quite lucky because ended up sharing this hotel room with a cool guy called Lee. We ended up being best friends for a long time in Thailand, but we kind of lost touch. I didn't turn up to some things that I said I would go to, and I'm sorry, Lee, I should have made more effort my end. That was my first night in Asia, my first night in Bangkok, and I slept like a baby. I was exhausted from my flight and my travels getting there. It's a bit hot, I'm going to roll my sleeves up. Thai weather, it's not even sunny, but it's still boiling. Better. In Thailand, we have like ice cream men driving around on like a tricycle sort of thing, selling ice cream. After sleeping like a baby in my first night in Thailand, I was thrown into the conference room for a week, like from 9 o'clock to 4 p.m. I think. We was learning how to be a teacher, how to teach English as a second language. We learned some Thai culture, what not to do and what to do, and what's expected from the agency to fulfill their contract with the schools, which was lovely because like it's my first time being an actual teacher, so it was good to get like a gist of it sort of thing. But the class finishes at 4 o'clock, so we had dinner in the hotel and then we was free. Guess where I went? I went to Koh Sam Road every night. I spent way too much money. I must have spent like £300-400. I drank so much. I drank so many buckets. Do you know what a bucket is? A bucket is like a sandcastle plastic bucket. It's filled with a bottle of Thai whiskey and some Thai Red Bull and like some Coke or something like that. It gets you bladdered. They were about 200 baht for one bucket, which I think I used to manage 2 in one night. But now I can barely have one and I'm bladdered. So I've got another angle. Cloudy sky. It's raining, it's spitting a bit actually. Looking back on that week in Bangkok, it was brilliant. I learned a lot about teaching English as a second language. I met a lot of friends. I'm still friends with a decent amount of them to this day. I experienced Bangkok, I experienced tuk-tuks, I experienced the big lights, the big like Bangkok city like feeling. I went to Koh Sam Road far too much. It was brilliant. My first week in Thailand was like one of my best weeks living here for 8 years. Top 10 at least, top 10. So the training session ended, the little holiday ended in Bangkok. It was a Friday night and the representative told us that we was going to be given a slip of what school and where we was going to be sent. There was about 50 of us in total, so like it was obvious everyone was going to get split up, and I was hoping to be sent down south where the beaches are, where the little mountains are, where the south has everything, to be honest. I was like hoping to be sent down south. Luckily I was sent down south to Nakhon Si Thammarat. Nakhon Si Thammarat is in the south of Thailand, between Krabi province, where like Ao Nang is, Riley beaches and all the good stuff, and it is equal distance to Koh Samui and Koh Phangan, where the half moon parties are, where the full moon parties are. Brilliant. Change the angle up a bit. The camera's hanging off this, so hopefully it don't fall. Where was I? Forgot where I was. So all in all, I think about 20 teachers were sent to the south of Thailand. We all hopped on a coach and off we went to the great unknown. City by city, a few teachers were dropped off here, a few teachers were dropped off here. About 10 of us made it to Nakhon province. 2 teachers were in the city, and me and 2 other female teachers were sent to Tung Yai. Tung Yai is spelled Thungyai. So Tung Yai, to a Westerner, to an English person anyway, is pronounced Thung Yai because the TH in English is pronounced th, right? But in Thailand, the TH is a T. So for the first few days in Thung Yai, I was saying Thung Yai, Thung Yai, Thung Yai, which is not correct. It's embarrassing to like talk about a town in Thailand to other Thai people who live in that town and pronouncing it incorrectly. Oh my god. I was there like all week saying Thung Yai, Thung Yai, Thung Yai. No, it's Thung Yai, Thung Yai. So if you're ever in a city in Thailand, like Phuket, it's not Phuket, like PH, it's not Ph, it's Phuket, Phuket. Okay, remember that. So me and two other teachers jumped in like a school van where we met the directors of the school. We met a Filipino teacher called Jenny, and she explained everything in English because the director, the headmaster, could not speak English. Language barrier number 1. Well, language barrier number 2, because I was saying the town wrong. The director could speak like, hello, how are you? My name is blah blah blah. He could say the school name in English and things like that. But if I wanted to know what was happening the next day, he couldn't explain to me. So the Filipino teacher, her name was Jenny. Without her help, in the first few days at least, me and the other two teachers didn't know what the hell was going on, didn't know like the timetable or anything that was happening. So thank you, Jenny. Whoa, look at this insect. Can you see that? Just hanging out on the bridge. That Saturday night, the director and Jenny took us to a bungalow which was owned by another teacher called Peachy, and we planned to stay there for the contract term. The bungalow that was shown to us, it was clean, it was all tiled, it wasn't dirty, which was nice. It had 2 sections, so the girls could sleep in one half with 2 bedrooms and a toilet. I could sleep in the other half, 2 bedrooms and a toilet. We each paid 3,000 baht per month, including electric, including water, including Wi-Fi eventually, which is like 70-80 pound a month. It was really cheap for English prices, right? Imagine paying £80 in England for a month, including bills. It's insane. Sun's setting, so I need to quick finish the story. It's spitting now, so let's wrap it up. The room's really basic. It's just like a box room, like no mattress yet. So I think the first night I was there, I slept on the floor with my backpack as a cushion, which was rough, but welcome to Thailand, right? You need to roll with the punches. It had a Western toilet, which was a bonus because on the way down to the south, in the petrol stations, they didn't have a Western toilet. They had a squatter toilet. I have not squatted down in my life, so I kind of just held it until I went to like a decent restaurant or somewhere with a Western toilet. It had a back patio, which had a washing machine, which was a godsend. In the front, it had like a big patio area, which was covered, where you could park the motorbikes, you could sit outside, have food outside. It was brilliant. So Sunday comes around. In the morning, the director and Jenny took us for breakfast and lunch, and they were just like talking to us about the area. They showing us a few restaurants that we could go to, and basically setting us up for Monday morning because it was my first day of school coming the next day. It's a lovely bridge. All you can hear is birds chirping away. Some mountains in the distance. Nice like straight rail track. Cool little pond next to it. Not bad. Some kids hanging out. I'm as cool as them. I'm as cool as them. I'm cooler. Creating content. Yeah. Yeah. The conversation come around like my school was about 20-minute drive from where we were staying. So how the hell do I drive there? Do someone pick me up every day? Or do a walk or get a bus? I didn't have a clue. Turns out everyone drives a motorbike in Thailand, right? The director offered me his old motorbike, and it was old, 100cc bad boy. It was brilliant though. After riding it for like over a year, I think I rode it, it never let me down. Honestly, old bikes are brilliant, so much fun. I could smash it to 100 kilometers. Don't tell my mum. The director offered me this bike, right? So I said, yeah, awesome, I can drive a motorbike. I couldn't drive a motorbike. Idiot. So the director dropped off this bike in the evening. Bear in mind the sun sets about 6:30 in Thailand, something like that. The sun's down, there's only like street lights. The bike is old, man. Like the headlight didn't work. It worked, but it didn't improve anything. So I had this bike, I needed to get to school the next day. Never rode a bike in my life. So I needed to learn that night. I went up and down the street a few times. I could ride a bicycle before, but like it's a motorbike. Like, granted, it's only 100cc. I'm not gonna kill myself on it, but mate, I was thrown in the deep end. That night, I learned how to ride a bike. Went up and down the street a few times. Got to know the bike, the brakes worked. The headlight did not work. I couldn't see anything in pitch blackness. I didn't sleep well that night because I was really scared about starting my first day at school, scared about driving there for 20 minutes. So I woke up early, about 6 a.m. I think. I practiced my bike again. I totally forgot what directions the director gave me, and packed my bag and hopped on the bike. I must have took like 40 minutes to get to school. Like, it's only 20 minutes away. But I got there in one piece, and I'll tell you about it in part 3. If you're interested in more, subscribe and stay tuned for part 3. Okay, goodbye.